Hello and welcome to the next episode of Goddess on the Coffee Break. I am your host, Patty Becker, and today we're going to talk about 3-card tarot spreads. I was recently asked by a student a question about the way to interpret the 3-cards spread. She seemed to have a problem with clarifying what she was actually receiving in the reading because she was a little bit confused about the meaning behind the cards when they come together in one question. She used the spread the same way I was teaching my students to use one-day card spread, which is really a great way to find a quick confirmation and clarification about your daily routine or things that are coming up, or sometimes there might be some little warnings or winks from the universe. So the one card reading is easy in a way that you have one thing to worry about. But if you pull 3 cards for, let's say, a daily reading or some simple question, then it might become a little bit confusing as to what to do with all of them. I think that the reason why my student was confused about the 3-card spread is because there was no placement attached to these cards. So what I mean by that is that when you pull one card, it's a energy. This is like an immediate answer to a question. What is the energy for the day? What can I expect? How can I approach? Where do I go from now? Generally, when I pull a card for a day, I ask just a basic direction. What can I know behind the energies of the day is all I need to know. And if there are warnings or gifts or anything that I need to know about, I try to, in my best possible way, implement into my day. And the one thing that I like to do, if I have enough energy, before bedtime, I go back to my card and I compare the events of the day with what I thought will happen according to the energies of the card. It's a great learning tool to better understand the language between you and your tarot. But anyway, back to the 3-card situation. You can make 3-card spreads really about anything you want. It's a very versatile and useful way to gain more insights into your situation. And of course, a clear question will help you understand the answer much better. The importance of knowing the placements for your 3 cards is that it will clarify what exactly is going on in the story you have created. And one of the most common ways, and probably my favorite ways of using 3-card spread, is to ask about past, present, and future. And this simple spread is ingenious because the past is showing you something that is ending, that you're coming out of, a situation that is finding solutions right now. Maybe something you have gained that now you can spend, or maybe something you have learned that now you can implement into your life. So the past is behind us, whether it's a day ago or a month ago or a year ago. Now, the second card is the present card. This represents the situation at heart. What is going on here and now? What is your focus? And then the future card is where you're going with all of this. Are your past actions and your focus aligned? Are you going into a direction that you are actually hoping to go? The future card is not set in stone energy. It's most likely the direction you're going to go through because of your past actions and current responses to your situation. And sometimes it just indicates little treasures awaiting on our hero's path. It really depends on the gravity of a question, right? So the placement of the 3-card spread can vary from question to question and from intention to intention. And there are some other cool possibilities, and I'm going to share with you just a few of my favorite ones. So, for example, you can ask about the nature of your problem. That will be your first card. The second would be the cause of the problem. And then the third, the solution. You can ask about changes. So, the first card's placement would be what you can change. The second would be what you can't change. And the third card, what you may not be aware of. You can do very simple question. What can I know about my mind, body, and spirit? What can I know about today's opportunities, challenges, outcome? What are my current strengths, current weaknesses, and what is the advice? What I like about the 3-card spread is that you can use it for questions small and big, and then you can add extra cards if you require a clarification. Of course, then you need also a little bit more time. But 3 cards give us a pretty nice picture of what is going on within us, around us. You can experiment with creating your own 3-card spreads that will help you become more creative and more intuitively aligned with your tarot deck. So lastly, I would like to give you a little bit of a cheat code to what happens if strangely very similar cards show up in your 3-card spread. If you get bunches of the same cards, then what does that mean? So, for example, let's say you've got 3 major arcana cards in your spread showing up. That might indicate a destiny moment, some sort of window of opportunity. You might be able to make a big jump, a big shift. Definitely some sort of change is coming and you can respond to it in the best possible way. You cannot stop it. You cannot decide which direction it's going to go in the big scheme of things. It's just that you can have some sort of internal integrity so you can respond to all of this in the most graceful way. So it's a big scenario if you have 3 major arcana showing up. Big scenario playing out in our lives. The abundance of minor arcana, right? So that's all of these little cards between Ace and 10. That points to a moment in time where we actually do have some control over the things that are happening around us. We can control our destiny more or less, but we do have some special tools and skills and knowledge and opportunities, and we can change a lot of things in our lives. The abundance of court cards may suggest that there are other people around us that are influencing us right now. Sometimes it can indicate that you are just going through a personal processes of integrating some skills or knowledge. It might be like a moment of maturation and realization of something big. If you have abundance of court cards, the question is which direction are you willing to take this new power? And you should pat yourself in the back because that means you have gained a level of mastery, or you are in the process of gaining mastery, and that you are in charge of your life, whether you're a king or a knight or princess or prince. This is like your royal time of celebration. Or it can just mean that your siblings are moving in with you. That could be so too. Now let's take a look at particular elements. What happens if you have 3 of the same elements? So let's say you've got abundance of wands. That might symbolize a need for igniting something new in your life. The wands are fire, right? So awakening to your life purpose. Mastering strong will, allowing more of creative force to come through you. The ones are associated with changes in career, sometimes a new status in partnership. This is where you create energy and then you are harnessing it to benefit as many people as possible, including yourself. An abundance of cups might suggest all sorts of troubles with heart matters. So love and love affairs. Cups are representing all sorts of level of expression of love. That includes appreciation for beauty, art, and creativity. So an abundance of cups would probably suggest that this water-related element is going to bring you some new flow of emotions, new flow of possibilities, and most of all, it might help you refill the lost energy, allow you to give yourself enough and cherish your own juicy living to a much deeper extent. Can you tell I love cups? Yeah, I love cups. I can talk about cups. And I can talk about swords too, which are coming up next. Swords as an abundance in one reading may suggest conflict. Sorry to say, but swords are pretty challenging in the tarot as they are the air element. And air element represents all things connected with speech, communication, exchange of information, listening. We can write great books or make someone feel bad by a horrible comment. Either way, swords will do what they need to do. An abundance of swords may suggest conflicts of some sorts, anxiety or health issues, and sometimes they really point toward places where a need for clear communication is required. Like with the swords, we really need to express ourselves clearly. It doesn't mean that we need to overtalk or that we need to prove someone that we are right. It's more about allowing the exchange to happen by being the first person to giving some space for hearing the other sides. The swords, if they come in abundance, they might indicate a need for withdrawal and maybe going into a meditation to confront some old beliefs, to heal some wounds. And then finally, we have an abundance of discs. And discs are the earth element, so that suggests all things related to wealth, money, possessions, tangible things, things we can touch with our hands. This is no longer the dance of the spirit and the desire and the vision. It is actually where we're building something solid. So an abundance of discs might indicate that we need to get to work, that we need to focus on creating something tangible. Also, discs, also known as pentacles or shields, they would like us to make sure we are taking care of our bodies well. So not only material possessions, but material physical reality is incredibly important to the pentacles. So exercises, drinking enough water, going to sauna, like anything that elevates your body, makes you feel better. Purification of some sorts, diet that is aimed at bringing equilibrium in your mind, body, and spirit. Slowing down, observing cycles in nature. After all, discs are slow energy. They are earth energy. It takes a year from birthday to birthday and from equinox to equinox and so on. So it's a slow energy. So slowing down and allowing smaller steps to take place is a really great feedback from the abundance of discs in your reading. But I suggest that you play with 3 cards spread and experiment with it and see what you can learn from that simple practice, especially if you've been doing other type of readings, maybe very elaborate ones or really simple. Three card spread can be actually quite informative, and I'm not gonna say it's gonna be always easy. I do often have a problem with three card spreads if I'm not clear about my intention and questions. So by all means, experiment and let me know how that's going and what are your favorite three card spreads. Don't forget to check out the description below so you can get some more links toward my Substack, where I post weekly about things related to tarot and creativity and other interesting and personal things that relate to my hero art journey. And so I am really grateful for you guys sticking around. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.